I was telling my bro this. What if the One Piece was a bathing suit? Remember, there's a bathing suit called a One Piece. What if Roger was laughing because he couldn't wear that? He couldn't wear that. That's why he was laughing, and he said we're a little too early. Because remember, Roger had a crew member that was a female, which was Odin's wife, but she got sick because she has a devil fruit. Now, hear me out. Nami is part of Luffy's crew, and she doesn't have a devil fruit. Here, you see where I'm going with this? What if she has to put the swimsuit on, right? But then here comes the other part. Poseidon is a weapon that can control the sea monsters, right? Okay, you see where I'm going here, right? The calm belt. Why is it calm and why is there two? I feel like the end game of One Piece is a swimming race, okay? It's a swimming race. It might be silly, but remember, Luffy has Toon Force, so it might not be that far off. What if Luffy gives Nami Toon Force so that she could swim around the world racing against whoever the opponent is? And Poseidon is used to clear out all the sea monsters from the calm belt. And Pluton... No. Pluton is the battleship, right? Pluton is the battleship, but it is not a battleship. It's like some sort of moving stadium, right? Where people sit down to watch the race as it goes on. And I fuck with it. And hear me out. Uranus, the weapon that can destroy islands. What if it's used to clear out all the islands that are in the calm belt, so that there won't be any obstacle when they're racing? And the red lines are the finish and the starting lines. You see where I'm going? Peak cinema. You see where I'm going? I feel like that's the ending. The ending of One Piece is a whole swimming race. Quote me on this, quote me in this. I'm not wrong. I see the future. I saw it. I know the ending. I personally spoke to Oda himself, and he was shocked when I told him this. Because I worked for Oda. I worked as an illustrator and an author and a writer and a idea giver for Oda for the past 15 years. I know what I'm talking about. I worked under Oda. He's gonna use Uranus on me. Next thing you know, I don't stream anymore for the remaining of who knows when, because my home got blown up by the ancient weapon. I mean, it makes sense when you think about it. The One Piece. There's a swimsuit called a One Piece, and when you think about it, in the manga, it says that the world is sinking. Okay? The world is sinking. The world is sinking. It's all water based. It makes sense that the One Piece is a swimsuit. Yeah, it is. Why do you think Water 7 is a floating island? No, I think it's because they keep clearing out islands. No, that would mean that if you remove an island, then that would make the water drop. So I think it is Imu's doing. And hear me out. Why do you think Devil Fruit users can't swim? It's because if they could swim, they would be physically stronger and more like they would have higher stamina to swimming. So they had to get a some sort of downgrade of some sort so that they wouldn't be able to swim. So I feel like my theory stands strong. Remember, Oda is also one of us. He is also a gooner. Yeah, he doesn't want Devil Fruit users to not be a threat. Yeah, Oda is one of us. He is a gooner like us. I feel like that's what the One Piece is. A swimsuit for one of the characters to wear at the final race. It's not a war, it's a race. Why do you think Oda said it was gonna be worse than the Marineford War? It's not gonna be worse. It's gonna be worse because we're gonna be getting Happy Punch. It's not gonna be kid friendly anymore. It's gonna be rated 18. Yeah, Nami will swim against Imu. Then why would they have Vivi there? I feel like because Imu has a devil fruit, she's gonna possess Vivi so that she could swim against Nami. You feel me? See where I'm going with this? Because when you think about it, Vivi is still an important character in the One Piece world. There's gonna be some sort of Gooner war. I'm so fucking smart, dude. I came up with this like 2 days ago. No, yeah, 2 days ago. I was thinking about it one night and I was like, why? What could the One Piece be? Then I was thinking, One Piece. One Piece. One Piece. Then I remembered the One Piece, yeah, swimsuit.